Welcome to the video on 6 R's of sustainability. With the growing risk of natural resources getting depleted and increased pollution, it has become very important to reduce the carbon footprint and have a more sustainable lifestyle. The 6 R's framework helps in reducing the environmental impact and improve sustainability. This framework can be used in the day-to-day lifestyle of every citizen as well as in the industry like manufacturing. So let's now go through each one of the R's. First, let's look at rethink and redesign. Now, the question, do I really need that, beautifully summarizes the concept behind the rethink or redesign principle. Now, rethink means that we all need to be more mindful of our consumption habits, keeping sustainability in mind. Before taking a decision, stop for a moment to re-examine the potential benefits and especially the ecological consequences of what you are about to do. Now let's look at some examples of rethinking that may apply to your everyday life. Do I really need that new fashionable pair of shoes while I already have so many? Do I need to change my phone every other year, or can I keep using the old one for longer? Can I use a reusable water bottle instead of single-use bottle? So here in the image, as you can see, this is a reusable bottle, whereas this is one-time use. So once you use it, you throw away the plastic bottle, which creates waste and in turn impacts the environment. Whereas if you have a reusable bottle, you keep on refilling it and there is no impact to the environment. Now, in terms of product design or manufacturing, rethinking means that you should consider the environmental impact on your design choices. So as you can see in this image here, there are two options to pack your burger. One is the plastic container, other one is the styrofoam container. So when the company who is manufacturing this designs these boxes, at that time itself they have to think which one is recyclable and accordingly then design the product which eventually does not impact the environment harmfully. So that is the redesign principle. Now let's look at some of the questions that you should be asking. Can I design this product in a way that is easier to disassemble, repair, and recycle? Can I design the product in a way that it lasts longer? Can I use more environmentally friendly material? Can I avoid generating hazardous waste or at least reduce it to the minimum? Can I redesign in a way that the product and the manufacturing process uses lesser energy consumption? Is there any new green technology that I can use to make my product more sustainable? Is there an opportunity for modular design for easy recycling, reuse, and remanufacturing? So as you can see, all these are geared towards reduction of wastage and making your products more environmentally friendly. So in short, in terms of redesign, you have to think how your product becomes more energy efficient, long lasting, easy to repair, and easy to recycle. So that is the concept of rethink or redesign. Now let's look at the second concept, which is refuse. So refuse means that you should avoid purchasing or even getting for free something that is not essential. These include refusing excessive packaging, refusing single-use items, or even products that are not energy efficient. Now, following are some of the examples. So, refuse the single-use bag and instead bring a reusable bag with you from home. So, as you can see here in this image, you go to a retail store and end up getting a plastic bag at home. Whereas if you are mindful, you can take your reusable bag to the store and avoid taking the plastic bag every time you go to a retail store. Second is refuse unnecessary packaging for your fruits and vegetables and buy unpackaged fruits and vegetables. Refuse free sample of a product that you don't really need. So a lot of times you go to a store, you get a free sample of something that you actually do not need. However, you still end up taking it because it's for free and bringing it home, which eventually ends up in your waste bin. Refuse paper bills and bank statements and instead activate online bills and statements. So these are some of the examples of refuse. So the key idea here is to reduce the amount of wastage that will end up in landfills. If we buy less of such things, the demand will go down and that in turn will lead to reduction in production of such items. Now let's go to the third R. The third R is reduce. So reduce means to cut down on the number of products that you buy and use. This principle says that you should consider reducing the number of things you buy and eventually donate or sell the items that you are not using. For a more sustainable lifestyle, we should be reducing our consumption to only what is necessary. This in turn helps in reducing the production of unnecessary items, thereby reducing wastage of natural resources. So let's look at some examples of what we can do to reduce our consumption. The first one is reducing the packaging material usage by buying in bulk. So basically, if you buy in bulk, the packaging material used will be lesser as compared to you buying it in small chunks. The second one is unplug devices that are on standby and switch off lights when you are not in the room. It will save you some money and also avoid wasting energy as well. Third, reduce the unnecessary usage of clothes. Avoid buying a new shirt if you already have plenty. Fourth one is reduce the usage of heating in winters to stay in short sleeves at home. You can have same comfort by wearing warm clothes and reducing the heating. You will also save money. Reduce your household energy consumption by using more energy efficient appliances. So as you can see in this image, this depicts the principle of reduce. A lot of times we take things in our plate that we don't end up eating, thereby wasting this food, which eventually goes to garbage and becomes waste. So we need to reduce the consumption and also reduce the wastage. Now let's see what it means in terms of product design or manufacturing. So some of the questions that you can ask using the reduce principle is, can I manufacture the same product by reducing the amount of material used? Can I reduce the energy consumption of the production process? So in production, you use a lot of different forms of energy in terms of light, heating, etc. So can that be reduced or optimized? Use lean principles to minimize all type of wastes. Optimize the usage of transport through better planning. Transport is a big source of pollution, and that can be reduced by optimizing and better planning. Improve product quality to reduce the customer returns and product recalls. So if your quality is good, then the returns will be less and eventually the wastage will also be less. Reduce material that can have hazardous environmental impact. So these are some of the ways in which you can apply the reduce principle. Now let's move to the next one, fourth one, which is reuse. Reuse means that you should consider potential ways to use old items again instead of getting rid of them. This will help the environment by avoiding these items to end up in landfill. Reusing will also help by preventing production of new items. This reuse could be used to fulfill the same task or something completely different. For example, so as you can see in this image, the bottles after its useful life as a water bottle have been reused to plant the saplings. Similarly here, the shoes have also been used as flower pot, and here the old shirts have been used to make bag to carry things. Now you can also donate these items to someone else who may like to reuse them. If you don't need something, you can also think of selling it to someone who can make use of it. This way, you can also make some money. Now let's look at some of the examples of reuse. Donate your old items to charity or homeless people, or even to an animal shelter. Reuse items like wrapping paper instead of throwing it to the trash. Find usability of your household items, like toothbrush can be used for cleaning. Glass jars can be used for planting flower plants, etc. Donate used books. Now in terms of product design or manufacturing, following are some of the ways to apply this principle. Reuse the usable scrap generated during production and reuse the packaging material. So this is about the reuse principle. Now let's look at the fifth one. The fifth one is repair or remanufacture. Repair means that if something is broken, you should first consider repairing it instead of replacing it with a new product. Try to use products as long as you can and dispose them if there is really nothing else you can do with them. Let's look at some of the examples of repair. If your phone is 3 years old and the battery is not working properly, try the repair option by replacing the battery instead of buying a new phone. And second one, if your appliances at home stop working, first try the repair option. As you can see in this image, the chair is not in a good condition, but after repair, it looks as if it's new. Now let us look at remanufacturing. As per the Apex dictionary, remanufacturing is an industrial process in which worn out products are restored to like new condition. As per Wikipedia, Remanufacturing is the building of a product to specifications of the original manufactured product using a combination of reused, repaired, and new parts. Basically, the parts which have degraded affecting the performance of a product are replaced. So basically, a remanufactured product should match the same customer expectations as a new product. Remanufacturing helps in achieving sustainability goals by transforming used products into a usable state, minimizing the waste generation. Some examples of products which undergo remanufacturing are photocopier or print cartridges, photocopying machines, laptop, computers, television, etc. Now let's move to the sixth one, which is recycling. Now recycling is the process of collecting and processing materials that would otherwise be thrown away as trash and turning them into new products. Generally, the products should only be recycled if they cannot be reduced or reused. Let's consider an example of recycling. Many of the food and drink products we buy are packaged in cans made from either aluminium or steel, and both of these materials can be recycled after we are finished with them to make either new cans or other products. Let us see how the aluminium cans are recycled in order to understand the process better. Firstly, the cans are collected and separated from other waste products. The aluminium cans are then shredded, thereby removing any colored coatings. They are then melted in a huge furnace and the molten metal is poured and continuously cooled by water. As it cools, blocks or ingots of aluminium are formed. Aluminium blocks are then converted into thin sheets which can be used to recreate aluminium cans. Recycling matters because of several fundamental reasons. It helps in reducing the resources we extract from the planet, helping to conserve some of them for future generations. It also helps in reducing waste in landfills and keeps our water and air cleaner. It has economic viability as it helps in reducing the cost of raw material. Now, some of the examples of recycling are paper and cardboard, steel, aluminium or tin cans, glass bottle and jars. So these are the 6 R's of sustainability. Some of them may be overlapping with each other, but each of them has its own significance. We need to follow these in our regular lifestyle as well as in our profession in order to reduce our carbon footprint.